Okay, so I kind of just started this video on a whim. I was someone commented on the last video I made, which is like Invincible season 3 episode 2 video. They literally just commented and they're like, "Yeah, we'd like to see more of these." I'm probably gonna put your comment like right next to my screen right here. I want to say thank you so much because honestly, I was not gonna record today, but then I saw your comment and I felt kind of motivated, so I'm gonna record another one today. So today we're gonna be talking about Invincible season 3 episode 5. I did skip like 2 episodes, and I might go back and do those again. But I think since I just watched episode 5 last night and it's fresh in my mind, I think I'll just make one about the episode 5. Okay, to start off, we have the multi-paw breakout scene. I feel like this is kind of sudden, but whatever. We have the multi-paw breakout scene, which is so fucking disgusting. At first, when he started multiplying, I thought he was going to just like use 20, maybe like 20, 30 of his clones and just like combine their strength, like break out the wall or break outside the door. But the way he just squished all of them together until they fucking popped was so fucking disgusting. Especially because one of my biggest fears as a kid is claustrophobia. I'm not really claustrophobic nowadays. Maybe a little bit if I'm in a really tight space, but I fucking hated that. Like the way like the blood seeped out the door. Ugh, just absolutely disgusting. Also, it makes me wonder when they lock up these prisoners, do they not know their abilities? Because you would think that Invincible would have told like the prison people or like his abilities, and they would have already prevented him from using his abilities on the inside. Or is it like it's like a privilege and you get it taken away if you try to escape using your powers? Because as soon as he tried to escape, like they're like a bunch of like basically the fucking SWAT team showed up and they put like a collar on him. So I am curious how that all works with the powered prisoners and all that. Also, the after all that breakout shit, we also get a scene with him with Paul and Kate, and where it shows their backstory, and they basically talk about how Paul sees Kate's the GDA that Kate works for as just as bad as what he's doing because they use her, they don't give a fuck about her, and we get the little backstory. Jesus Christ, get the little backstory where it basically explains how they are the way they are, which I really liked. I really liked that segment. I looked from the flashback; it looked like their dad was in like a was like wasn't mentally right. It looks like he was like on a comatose state. Is that the right word? It looks like he just wasn't mentally there. And they were basically like raising themselves. And in the scene, in the flashback scene, you can see there's like 10, 20 of like baby or like kid Case and kid Paul is just playing together, which is kind of cool, kind of sad, I guess, in a way. But yeah, I really like their little backstory and I'm glad we got to see it. Actually I have a little notebook written down here this time, so hopefully I shouldn't stutter as much. Next thing we have on it is the Mark Eve Oliver scene where Eve flies out the window and then comes to the front door, so it seems like she wasn't spending the night there. And I like how Oliver immediately like snitches on them. I assume he knows what he's doing. I assume he knows what he's doing. Maybe he doesn't though. Maybe he doesn't. Like, how would he know? I mean, I think he knows what sex is, right? Because in the last episode where he saw Debbie and her boyfriend, where's Debbie's boyfriend's name? Paul? Maybe? I don't fucking know. He saw Debbie and Paul kissing. He was like, "Are you guys gonna mate now?" So he has an idea. Maybe, probably not, actually. Anyway, I like how he immediately stitches on them, and I find that scene where they're all at the table and Mark and Oliver are just kicking each other underneath the table, back and forth. I find it very endearing and like it warms my heart because it's such a normal scene. Like that's such a normal thing to do. Like the older son is like sneaking girls over, and the youngest son is snitching on the oldest for having girls over. And Debbie is always talking about how she wants normalcy, even though probably never come. But I found that scene to be like the most normal thing that's happened in what, like 6 episodes. And I find this is such a nice heartwarming episode because for the past like what 6, 7 episodes, it's just been like traumatizing event after traumatizing event after traumatizing event after traumatizing event. And I feel like this was a good change of pace. It was really nice to finally just have just a normal family scene. And speaking of normal, Oliver sneaks out to go hang out with a bunch of other kids in the neighborhood, which is awesome. And I love how Debbie is always sheltering him because he has what, blue skin, and she knows that other kids and other people are going to judge him for that. And he probably has found some kids that have judged him for it while he was out trying to make friends. But I love that he had a group of friends and they're learning how to skateboard, and they don't care about the color of his skin. They're just having fun. Their kids having fun. They know he has powers. And yes, it was super, super sweet to see, especially when Debbie comes to Mark's door at the middle of the night and is like, Oliver's missing, and like it immediately gives you like a sense of panic, and it gives Mark a big sense of panic too, rightfully so. And he's like, should I call? Will I have to call Cecil? Because Cecil's watching everything. We know that Cecil is still watching Mark, despite like the numerous threats that Mark has put against Cecil. So he's just being extra sneaky with it, I guess. And oh yeah, and then the bullies come, and we all get scared because Oliver like clenches his fists to confront the bullies. And I was really wanted Oliver to find like a good in between standing up for himself, and I didn't want him to slaughter them, and I didn't want him to not stand up for himself at all. And I'm glad he found a good in between and just like pantsing the kids with super speed. And I think in this universe, it's pretty normal for people to have superpowers. Like supervillains are robbing banks every fucking week. So like a kid and there's superheroes flying around. So them just seeing a kid with superpowers, it's not like they're gonna tell the police or some shit. So that was super exciting. That was awesome, super heartwarming to see. And speaking of heartwarming, the Rex and Ray little date thing was super nice. It was very considerate. I love how considerate Rex is being in these latest episodes. Especially in contrast to season one self. It's just I love it. Not just because he's always like siding with Mark and he's always riding for Mark now, but he's also just becoming a good person and he's funny and awesome. And I loved that him and Ray's little relationship that they got going on. I love how they just held hands and just ate food, and how they stole Immortal's beer or wine, and it was super fucking bad. I don't know if like I guess it's not okay. Does aged wine does make it better. Like I assume any wine Immortal owns was probably old as shit. I guess it was just really bad. I don't know, maybe low quality wine. Who fucking cares? What else? Okay, so for the whole big meat section this episode, we have the Titan and Mr. Liu. I think that's his name, Mr. Liu. I thought someone called him Screwface. But I don't know if that's his real name or if that's a name another character made for him as like to make fun of him, or if I just made that up in my head. But let me know in the comments if you do see it. The big thing in the episode is the Titan, Mr. Liu, and I don't know what the fuck I wrote. What is this? Oh, okay, yeah. So, hold on, where were we? Okay, so eventually, I don't know if Titan even tried to break Multipaw out of prison. If that was him trying to break Multipaw out of prison in the beginning, I think it probably was because he ended up saying like we tried to break him out, but it just didn't work out. And then Mr. Lee was like, try again, or else I'm gonna fucking kill your wife and kid. Like, why do they all go for that? I mean, I know why they all go for that, but it's like Titan's not rocking with that shit. So obviously he rebels against him. And what do we have? How does it get here? I don't know how it gets to point A to point B, but we have Mr. Liu's dragon form, which I find the dragon super interesting because it's like I thought he was like I don't know how I didn't even believe that he could turn into a dragon at first. I thought he was just gonna send like goons with guns to go break out Multipaw. But the dragon he has is like it's like a soul dragon, which is super interesting and different from all the other powers we've seen so far. Where his physical body has to be guarded, which is super cool. And the fight scene that we get with him versus Mark and Eve is super dope. I love how creative Eve is being with her powers. That little thing where she puts on the armor and then she turns into into this like swinging mace. Is there a name for that? I don't know. She turns into like this swinging mace where him with her and Mark having a team up move. Super cool. And her fighting Multipaw, she's just so fucking broken. The way she created like the entire room into like a prison cell just to capture him was super dope. Even though Multipaw did end up outsmarting her in the end and getting away, but super cool regardless. Ooh, so is Multipaw just gonna have a clone in prison for him, like permanently? Probably. Like, and also I want to know. Speaking of Multipaw, I want to know to what extent are his clones conscious? Like, is it like I assume they all get controlled by the main body, but like, do they have? I assume they have like thoughts and emotions of their own, especially if like, or, and I think when and he pass his consciousness from one clone to the next. I'm not 100% certain how that works, but whatever. What else do we have? Um, Ooh, also, Machine Head super funny. He comes back this episode, and I love his auto tune. And I love how he cracks the joke about how he's gonna have to learn. He has to be in tip top shape to learn Microsoft Word to get an office job. I thought that was super funny. Um, Also, back to this entire Titan situation. Isotope Triple Agent. I fell for that shit every single time. At first, I thought Isotope was just switching up on Titan, and going to work with Mr. Liu or Screwface. And at first I was like, well, it's kind of sad that that happened because I kind of liked Isotope and Titan scene together. I thought they were kind of becoming like kind of a friendship, especially because um, Titan probably treats Isotope much, 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 much better than fucking Machine Head ever did. But I thought they were getting a little bit of a friendship, and I was super disappointed. And I was like, it sucks, but it makes sense because you lose them, how you get them. Like if someone betrays somebody to come work for you, chances are there's a chance that they'll betray you too. But that's not what ended up happening because it was ended up being a triple agent situation where wait, hold on. Where okay, no. Okay, yeah, it was a triple agent situation where um where Isotope got Machine Head out of prison while the teleportation field was down, and then got rid of Mr. Liu's bodyguard. And then while Mr. Liu's soul or spirit was in the dragon fighting Mark and Eve, um, Machine Head came and just shot him in the fucking head, basically saving Mark from that entire situation. Can we talk about how Mark gets whooped every single fucking week? This shit is insane. It's insane. Like how I really wonder how many villains on Earth could beat Mark one on one. I think it's supposed to be zero, and it's supposed to be like Mark's holding back, Mark's holding back. But at what point do you stop holding back? I would imagine once Mark sees his own blood, he should stop holding back and just restrain his opponent. I don't know. We'll see. But it's repeatedly stated to us that Mark is the strongest thing on Earth. Okay, so yeah, and then Isotope ends up Isotope ends up being a triple agent, and then we kill Mr. Liu, and then Titan comes back, and then basically Mark finds out that he got played and used again after saying he wouldn't fall for the a lot of people are going to die trick, which was true this time. So yeah, it did end up working out. What I don't like is how Mark passes judgment on Titan so broadly and so broadly and quickly. Like it makes sense because Titan did fuck him over the first time, and he's probably still pissed off about that. But at the same time, like you could listen to the dude. I like when they have the conversation and Titan, where they meet up and they're trying to, he's trying to ask Mark for help, and Mark basically says no. And he tries to run away. I love how he goes up into the sewer, which Mark definitely could have caught him if he was taking him seriously, but he knew Titan wasn't a threat, so he's kind of doing it lackadaisically. Jesus, I didn't say that shit right, but it doesn't matter. He kind of chases him lackadaisically, and he goes up, and there's a bunch of fucking dudes in hoodies, and one of the dudes is like, "You think we all look the same?" I thought that was pretty funny and clever on Titan's part. My voice is getting fucked up. Whew. What else do we have? Oh yeah, but I don't like the way Mark passes judgment on Titan, but it's not over because we will be getting a rematch because Mr. Liu has been revived, brought to life, if you will, brought back to life, if you will. It's super weird because his main body has a bullet hole in the back of its head, but his bodyguard, who somehow survived his fall too, which is kind of crazy, was able to like conjure up the dragon spirit and put it back into his body. So maybe because his soul wasn't in his body when it got shot, and it was in the dragon. If he puts the dragon spirit back into Mr. Liu's body, he just comes back to life. I don't know. I guess it doesn't really fucking matter. But we will be getting a rematch, and I hope this time Mark and Titan just work together straight up, and they can kind of have, and I know it kind of goes against everything Mark has been standing for these past couple episodes, which is like, if you did one bad thing one time, you're a bad person, and you shouldn't get a redemption. But I think Mark and Titan will find a good middle ground in the next episode, which is probably when we're going to be dealing with this. So yeah, I think that should be it. I think that's everything. I'm definitely forgetting at least one thing, like I always do, because I didn't write down that much. It's like a very small notebook that I just got. But I think this should be good enough. Video is, how long is this video? 15 minutes long, so it's gonna be a little editing, but it's okay. It's okay. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Thanks for everybody watching. Shouts to dude who commented on the last video. If I might go back and make review videos for episode 3 and 4. We'll see. I definitely want to do one for 4 and 3. Something crazy happened every single episode. Maybe I can combine the 2 episodes into one video. Maybe. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Shouts to everybody who tunes in. Leave a comment if you want more of these. Leave a like, subscribe. Much appreciated. Any motivation I could get would be amazing. Thank you so much, and see you guys next time. Bye.